Well, at least it feels like it's a little while since I sat down and had such a scathing review to make, you know? Welcome back to Operation Arsenal, where I'm going to be disappointed. It honestly feels like a little while since I did one of these. Normally, at the moment, I'm pretty positive. I'm feeling good about the result. The team's played well. Arteta's doing a good job. The players are doing a good job. But today against Crystal Palace, honestly, it feels like those first three games. Do you remember when we couldn't score in the first three games and we lost all three games? Brentford, Chelsea, City. Today felt, just like that. That was really bad. In fact, I think that might be on par with those performances. Just really awkward, really bad, just slow and just lethargic and lazy. And most of the good performers of recent just didn't turn up today. I think the best way to start this video, though, is to say, well done to Crystal Palace. That was, wow, what a performance from them. Patrick Vieira, well done. Round of applause to Patrick Vieira because he is doing a fantastic job with Palace. I think they've done a bit of this since he joined, but recently he's been taking them to new heights. Really impressed with them. They've obviously got some great players in their team, and you can see, similar to what Arsenal have been doing recently with Arteta, just you can see the process, you can see what they're trying to do, you can see what they're building, and there's no doubt in my mind that Patrick Vieira will take Crystal Palace further than the recent managers they've had. I don't know how far he'll go, and it's the same with Arteta. I feel very similar with both these managers. I do believe they'll both go to the very top. This is not where they're going to finish their careers, that's for sure. I actually, in some weird way, still believe that Arteta is obviously very early in his career and he's doing a very good job at Arsenal, but I see him in the future as one of the elite managers. I promise you, Arteta will end up at Man City, Bayern, PSG, maybe a Barcelona, something like that. Guess who will take over? This guy, Patrick Vieira. I would put money on it if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but Patrick Vieira, I think he might be the next Arsenal manager. And that is when Mikel Arteta feels like he's got Arsenal as far as they can go. We can't compete financially with Man City, and we can't compete with most of the top sides in Europe for a long time. That would be a huge shift. But we can certainly get close, and then maybe he'll feel like his work is done. And I think that's the best we can expect, actually. And, you know, I'm trying to talk about Crystal Palace here. What I'm saying is they've got such a good manager in Patrick Vieira that, as well, he's in his early stages of his career. I'm pretty certain he will also go in a similar direction to Mikel Arteta. He'll go right to the top. Just a very intelligent thinker. They just read the game so well as players, and you can see as managers, they know what they're doing. It wouldn't surprise me if they both end up at the very top. I would like to make a prediction. Mikel Arteta will end up at Barcelona. Patrick Vieira will end up at Man City. That's my thoughts. I think that's what's going to happen. And don't forget, Patrick Vieira played for Man City at the end of his career, so he's definitely got some close ties there at the club. Wasn't even that long ago. And of course, Arteta grew up in Barcelona and played for the Barcelona youth team. So, Crystal Palace were really quite incredible. This 24 minutes of madness at the start. Let's talk about the first goal because there's an element of luck to that. I think Gabriel's going to head it out and he heads it into the back of, I think it was Anderson's head, and it just bounces back into a dangerous area. And then Mateta, who was brilliant, by the way, heads it in 1-0. And from there, you could just tell. And to be fair, guys, it's very easy after the game to claim some stuff like I'm about to claim. I'm going to claim it anyway. I knew we were going to lose this game. I said it to my wife. She normally won't watch the game with me, okay? And normally she'll say, do you even want me there? Because whenever we watch together, Arsenal lose. And I said, it won't matter tonight. Don't worry, Ellen. We're going to lose this game. I've got a bad feeling about it. And here we are. The second goal is 100% a defensive error from Tavares. 2 appearances for Tavares, his last 2 appearances. Subbed off in the 36th minute, I think it was, in the cup against, was it Nottingham Forest? Do you remember the all-white kit? That game. And then today, subbed off, 2nd appearance in a row. He's been brought off at half-time. It's not looking good for him, and I feel a little bit 50-50 about it because he has been good at times. But when you see that, when you see the last two appearances, you've got to say to yourself, okay, maybe the transfer window wasn't a 10 out of 10. Maybe we've missed the ball a little bit there. But I'm willing to let him slide a little bit. Maybe we do loan him out for a season. He's still very young. Maybe he's not a defender. Maybe we do move him up the pitch. He can't play at left back, basically. And then, of course, the penalty, which I think some people are arguing is soft. I don't think so. I think it's a penalty. I'd be fuming if they didn't give that to us. Yeah, I don't know. Crystal Palace were the right winners today. 3-0 doesn't flatter them at all, actually. I think some people are saying that flatters them. No, just because the stats say we had a few more shots than them. If you look at our chances, I mean, one or two of them, you would argue, should have gone in. Maybe we had a penalty claim with Saka going down, but in general, I think that's fair. I think they were absolutely incredible. I've just seen Anderson got 2 assists. Do you remember when he was linked with Arsenal? I remember it very well. He then went to Lyon, didn't he? And then Fulham. And now he's ended up at Crystal Palace and he's put in a man of the match performance. I think Mateta got man of the match, which I don't agree with. I think actually, if you look at this, Anderson, I was going to say Schlupp was incredible as well. Yeah, Tavares. I don't want to dig into the team too much tonight. This is shocking, though. No one had a good game. What I will say, though, and I will say this because I think a lot of people are going to be panicking because of the top 4 race, and obviously this is not good. We're 5th on goal difference now with a game to play. And we still have to play Tottenham, Chelsea, United. There are some tough fixtures. But the thing is, right, this team, this squad is very, very young. You can't have it both ways, Arsenal fans. I'm sorry. When we're playing really well and we're praising the team and we're saying, look, we're so young and we're so good, we're only going to get better, you also have to take a step back and realise games like this are going to happen. We have a very young squad. Sir Alex Ferguson himself said, you can't win anything with kids. Which I disagree with. You absolutely can. This team will win things in the next few seasons. Whether it's an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, or who knows, maybe a Champions League. I think that's very unlikely. But we have a lot of young players and you can't have it both ways. You have to accept that with such a young squad, which, by the way, let me remind you, is the youngest squad on average in the Premier League, and we're fighting for a top 4 spot despite being written off by all the pundits after 4 or 5 weeks, you have to expect that every now and again we're going to slip up. Today was another slip up. And it was just so obvious, wasn't it? Right after the international break, I hate them so much. We just lost a bit of momentum. We were doing well and we've just slipped up today, which is, again, one of those things. We can have a look at the stats really quick. By the way, Lokonga and Nketiah came on and did a great job, and so did Martinelli, to be fair. Martinelli not starting was a strange one for me. I enjoyed Nketiah's impact. I think he did quite well. He hit the bar. But Lokonga impressed me the most, actually. He looked pretty good when he came on. Really worried about injuries. Tomiyasu should be back soon, but Tierney has done his knee. That could be weeks. Some people are saying that it's rumoured to be the rest of the season. If we are without Tierney for the rest of this season, I think that is genuinely top 4 gone. He's that important to us. Pepe will be back. He's just sick at the moment. But late in the second half, Partey went off injured, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But you can see why people are saying that it's a bit flattering, 3-0 to Palace. When you look at the stats, well, yeah, but maybe 3-1. Maybe. I'll give you that. Let's have a look at your comments, guys. Operation Arsenal, of course, hashtag. You can join the conversation over on Twitter. Gunner of Kent says, to be honest, after that performance, I don't think we're even ready for the Champions League. It's a good point. But without it, we face the prospect of losing our better players to other teams because these players want the top trophies. Top 4 is still in reach, but not if we continue like that. It's a very good and honest point. I think, unfortunately, though, at this point, it's not even worth thinking about the Champions League. We're not there yet. Of course, if we get Champions League, and then we can start thinking, ooh, not sure we're quite ready there. But it's not, for me and for the club as a business, I guess, and as a reputation of being able to pull in players, you just need the Champions League, even if you're not anticipating making it through to the knockout stages, which we should. We should get to the knockouts, I would say, if we were there and we kept our squad as it is with a few improvements. But just being there is all that matters at this point in the season. It's the reputation of being a Champions League team again and being able to convince players to join the club. Simple as that. Whether or not we're actually ready to compete there is a different question entirely. Losing our players, I don't think that's too much of an issue. A lot of our younger players that are playing well at the moment are tied down on new contracts because they've just recently signed. We've got some players that, of course, need renewing and are being done. Saka is one of them. I don't think we'll lose anyone big in the summer. I really don't. The only player that is probably definitely going at this point that has, I guess, a good prospect for the future, or is a good prospect for the future, I mean, is Nketiah. But even him, I'm just like, whatever, man. We clearly need new strikers. We might as well go for 2 or 3, right? But the top 4 is still ours. We still have a game in hand, so we still are in the driving seat. Danny has said, relax, it's one slip. Right now it is. You're still having a good season. So he's not even an Arsenal fan. It's a young group with no top-class striker. These things happen, in my opinion. It's a very well put comment. It's true. Relax, guys. It's just one game at the moment. I know we slip up in the past in these situations. It might go a bit sideways, but relax. Let's see what happens against Brighton at the weekend. And just imagine if we did have a top-class striker. I mean, Lacazette hasn't been bad this season, but my God, he was shocking today. Felix says this marks the difference between Arsenal and clubs like Liverpool, City. The former sees surrounding clubs losing and takes it as pressure. The latter sees surrounding clubs losing and takes it as an opportunity. I really like this comment. We still have a long and bumpy road ahead. It's very true. We have to see these situations differently, mentally, clearly, because it's not the first time this has happened, and it happened to Tottenham earlier on in the season when they were so far ahead of us. Everyone was saying, oh, I'd rather have points on the board than games in hand, and that's true. Okay, I would rather have points on the board than games in hand because you're seeing it again now with us. Sometimes the pressure gets to you, and I don't think Liverpool in this situation would have fumbled tonight. City wouldn't have fumbled tonight. The top teams tend to deal with it most of the time anyway. Of course, City failed to score against Crystal Palace. We've got another one coming in here from Quinn C. Sad to be doing well before the international break and coming to see a first half of football that made me cry inside. Had a better second half, though. Thought that when Nketiah came on, he was better than Lacazette. Agreed. Can't disagree with that. Hate the international breaks. We always seem to be rusty when we get back. It kind of interrupts the flow of things, doesn't it? And then Lou AI, I think that is, or Lou Owl. Tough day at the office. Arsenal do usually react well after bad results. I guess you're right there. So I'm expecting a good performance in a must-win game against Brighton. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I kind of went into this game before I believed we would lose, because as I said, I kind of saw this coming. But in the days leading up to this game, I thought, you know what? When we beat Palace and when we beat Brighton, it means we can afford to get a pretty rough result against a Chelsea, a Manchester United, a Tottenham. God, if we lose that Tottenham game, that could be the second to last game of the season when they rearrange it. Oh my God. Imagine if the winner of that game gets top 4. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to deal with it. My heart. But losing against Palace now means we're probably going to have to get a result against Chelsea, or we're going to have to beat Manchester United or the dreaded North London derby, which, let's be honest, going into it, it's very 50-50 who's going to win that. If Arsenal show up, I'm sure we win. I think we are the better side on our day, right? But right now, God, I wouldn't want to play Tottenham after their win yesterday. Do you know they've swung the goal difference around by 7 in just one day, one fixture? 5-1 winners, and we've lost 3-0. That's mad. That is absolutely mad. If they go into the Champions League on goal difference, I think I'm done talking about it today. Just a bad result, but as one of those comments said, I think relax. It's not over yet. We still have plenty of games to go, which is also a bad thing in a way. Kind of wish we could just win against Brighton and that was the end of the season. But the thing is, in reality, I'm sure a lot of neutrals would agree, it's going to be a fascinating end to the season with Liverpool and City fighting at the top, and then that huge battle for 4th and maybe even 3rd with Chelsea slipping up. And then you've got the relegation battle, which, I mean, besides Norwich, I think you've got 2 places that could chop and change. It's going to be an incredible finale to the end of the season. And ultimately, I'll finish it with this. If Arsenal get top 4, fantastic. If we get 5th, I'll be disappointed, but still, that is a successful season considering where we were in the last 3 years, where we've been finishing and how bad of a start we made. Finishing 5th, I would have bitten your hand off at the start of the season for that. So it just shows how well we've been doing. We'll see what happens on Saturday.